Greetings everybody, my name is KG Prestige and welcome back to another video here on this channel. And ladies and gents, let us go ahead and talk about The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake for the Nintendo Switch 2, because this is something that has been capturing my attention for quite some time now, mostly because of the fact that this was announced last month on June. And at this point, from the recording of this video, it is July 21st, all right? And we have gotten nothing outside of that teaser trailer from last month. And I have to ask myself, what is Nintendo doing right now? Like, I'm genuinely curious what they're trying to do when it comes to postponing showing off gameplay or anything to an extent for the Ocarina of Time remake, especially given the fact that this game is coming out this year. And mind you, this year is also going to be the release of one of the biggest titles in video game history, at least in this decade, being of GTA 6. This title is going to go insane. In fact, it's already been going insane because a lot of games that should be spread out throughout the final months of the year have all pushed themselves in September and October, and there's barely any titles that are releasing in November outside of what, the Godzilla game? That's a remaster of a GameCube classic. That's it. That's all we got, at least off the top of my head anyway. So I'm thinking to myself, where's Nintendo in all of this? I thought Nintendo would have, maybe they'll announce, oh, by the way, this game's coming out in November of this year. And then they'll say, okay, we'll show off some more later down the road to prepare yourselves and hype yourselves up for the game, right? Like, they'll show off more footage. They'll show off the actual scope of the world, like how far they're going to take things, etc., right? And that's why I kind of waited a little bit. I thought maybe we get an Nintendo Direct by this point. I thought maybe we get another trailer of some form showing off footage of Ocarina of Time, or even just a Legend of Zelda Direct presentation, that can show off. Maybe, I think that might be what it is. They're probably going to have a Legend of Zelda Direct that's going to show off the first official trailer for the Legend of Zelda movie. And alongside that, they're going to also show off the first gameplay footage of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time for Nintendo Switch 2, and that's what they're gonna do. I think that's what it is. They're probably just waiting to get enough stuff done to where they can comfortably show off a lot, because this is a monumental occasion for the Legend of Zelda franchise. Sorry, bit my tongue there. But personally, I did find it a little bit weird. I thought we would have gotten something by this point, especially given that this title is coming out relatively soon. And we got nada. I don't know. It just felt odd by that standard. So, yeah, that's just a little event moment I just wanted to talk about. But now let's go talk a little bit about the game itself. So obviously, Ocarina of Time, the remake, is based off the original release on the Nintendo 64 of the same name. And it is considered widely by everybody out there to be one of the greatest video games of all time in that era, of course. If you try playing it right now, whoo boy, the controls can be a little tanky, but it is a classic for a reason. It is beloved by fans. The scope of the world back in the early 2000s or even in the late 1990s, bro, that era of gaming was such a big deal, especially for a title like this one that really felt like it took gaming to a whole nother standard, with a story, with exploration, combat, you name it. This game really did blow the walls for everybody out there who were fans of The Legend of Zelda prior to, well, Ocarina of Time, and really just brought 3D gaming to like a whole nother level of just enjoyment, so it is really amazing. However, it made me curious to know, like, to what extent is this remake going to be, approaching? Because obviously they're saying that this game is going to be reborn on the Nintendo Switch 2. So we know it is a remake, but like, how far are they going to take this remake overall? Because will it be something similar to what we've already experienced with another remake that released earlier this year, being Star Fox 64, remade for the Nintendo Switch 2? Is it going to be a remake to that scale where it's just going to be straight up taking everything from the original, just releasing it on the Nintendo Switch 2 with updated graphics, better controls, etc., and keeping everything as faithful as possible to the original without adding any new additional things outside of maybe like tweak cutscenes, etc. And that's it, you know. Or are they going to be going on a much grander scale with this title and making it really be how we imagined how it was back when we played this on the Nintendo 64, where they're going to try to make it a somewhat like a mixture between Breath of the Wild with, like, let's say Skyward Sword, or like, you know, like the mixture of being able to explore this open vast world while still having points to warp to other locations, etc., that kind of thing, but like just still expanded enough to where it feels brand new once again, despite reliving these classic titles. And I thought maybe they'll introduce new cutscenes, or maybe they'll flesh out some of the characters and give them voice dialogue this time around, like how it was with Breath of the Wild and the Tears of the Kingdom. Like this time we'll get voice acting for the Ocarina of Time series, which they kind of teased a little bit with the teaser trailer here. So maybe it's not just only for the cutscene there of the teaser trailer. Maybe it even will extend outside of that, you know? So that is very exciting to think about. And I'm very much curious to see how Link himself design-wise will look, because we only got to see him really sleeping in the footage we had. So there's not really much we can go off with that. So we didn't get to see much of how young Link, you know, walks around, animates in battle, etc., etc. And more importantly, how does, you know, Teen Link act in all of this as well. It's genuinely a really wonderful time to be a Zelda fan, despite having to wait who knows how long for the next thing, for the next trailer, so we could get a better understanding of what this game is going to be like. I'm so excited for it, but I'm also so curious as to why Nintendo has yet to drop anything. You know, I genuinely want to see, you know, what this game is going to be like outside of the little teaser. I want to know, are they really going to be as faithful as possible to the 64 classic, or are they going to somehow expand it even more, make it a little bit more open field like, and you can like walk from one destination to another destination without needing to teleport or warp from, you know, place to place like how it was in the 64 version. Like everything actually is all interconnected in one section. Or like, how's the combat going to be like? Is it going to, you know, be more like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom type of thing, where it's a lot more loose and you're able to swap weapons, etc.? Or is it going to be more akin to the classics, where you'll have an inventory system, you know, like the traditional style, etc.? And like, I'm genuinely excited for this game. It's a title I don't talk about much, but it is beloved for a reason. And it makes me so curious just to see where things are going to go. I apologize if I'm just saying the same thing over and over. It's just really weird to talk about this, because like we don't know anything about this game. There have been these weird rumors left and right that have been going on, saying like, oh, this game is going to be an interesting title because it's not going to be a remake of one game, but it's actually going to be split into two separate versions, similar to like how Final Fantasy VII Remake is split into three. Ocarina of Time is going to be a title that's going to be released in two splits, one that caters to the side of Young Link for 2026, and then in 2027 we're going to get more so the side of Teen Link or Adult Link and his side of the story. And it makes me curious, like, how are they going to do that? Like, how much are they going to expand? If they intend to release this into two separate titles, how much content are they going to shove into the Young Link side of the story? And how much are they going to flesh out in the Adult Link side of the story? Like, how are they going to make it all interconnected? How are they going to treat everything? Like, what's going to be the climactic point of the first part of the game? If the big bad guy is the one that they save for the ending, he's not going to show up in the middle of the story and you're going to have a fight with him. No, that's not going to be the case. I'm genuinely curious. Like, how are they going to treat this if they split it into two parts? And that's just a rumor. And that's another sad thing about this game too. And I think that's also kind of why I'm a little bit more annoyed that we haven't seen much about this game, is because prior to, even before Star Fox 64 Remake was announced, there was a discussion, I think it was from Nate the Hate, that talked a little bit more about like what games are coming out later this year, etc. And two titles in particular were something that fans were surprised with, that being of a remake of Star Fox 64, which we did end up getting. And then, of course, there is the other part of that discussion, which was The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time getting a remake. So since I want to say March or April, around that time, we've gotten just told, if you followed the rumors and whatnot, that this was happening, right? So I thought that maybe Nintendo caught wind of it, and then they would have taken the opportunity to, when they announced it in the Nintendo Direct in June, that they would have been like, okay, we can't just tease them. We have to show more than what we're offering, especially because it's coming out later this year. GTA 6 is coming out later this year. We have to give them something to really tell them, hey, this is going to be monumental. This is going to be a remake that stands amongst all the other remakes of every game out there in the world, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. That's my mindset anyway. And then at the same time, there's also the other mindset where I thought, okay, maybe they didn't do this because they wanted to promote all the other games that are coming out prior to this. Like, you know, obviously when the Direct was announced, Star Fox 64 got, you know, more footage, presentation, etc. And they wanted to prioritize that. And then, of course, there was Rhythm Heaven that came out as well. And then we also got the Splatoon Raiders game coming out later this month, which a lot of people already review-wise are coming out and seems to be doing really good too. So I'm very excited about that game. But yeah, so maybe they were waiting for these titles to come out first so that they can have an opportunity to go and talk a little bit more about Ocarina of Time without taking the attention away from all those titles that were coming out relatively soon. So that's my mindset. I'm just curious what Nintendo is doing at this moment. At the end of the day, they seem to understand this better than we do. We're just the audience, and I just wanted to more so express my personal viewpoints of just how I'm feeling about this so far. I'm still excited for it. I can't wait for when it comes out. Don't get it twisted. I'm very, very much excited for it. I just wish that they had given us a little bit more. Are you excited for The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake? And if so, how do you think they're gonna approach this remake? Do you think it's gonna be similar to, say, Ocarina of Time 64 or like Star Fox 64 remake, where it's gonna be straight up faithful to it and not really add outside of just visuals and cutscenes, that's it, but like it's gonna just be a one-to-one remake of Ocarina of Time 64? Or do you think they're really going to take this remake and expand upon it in ways that we've never seen it before, similar to, let's say, Final Fantasy VII Remake, that has 3 parts, mind you. I don't expect The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time to have 3 parts. I expect at best 2. But even then, do you think it would even go to that extent, you know? So I'm very curious to hear what you guys have to say about that. Overall, that's my take on it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please do me a solid. Make sure to leave a like. Appreciate it as always. And look forward to whatever shenanigans I have to talk about in the next video. So I'll leave it at that. Once again, my name is Keiji Prestige. Thank you all so very much for joining me here today. And I will talk with all of you lovelies later in whatever video I make. Take care, everybody. And as always, do me a solid and have yourselves a wonderful day. Bye-bye.